to India and Ireland, round Africa and back again. We don't really need to know just where we'll go. Maybe Canada, then to Brazil, then through the Alpine foothills. All I really want to know is, can we go? Oh baby, can we go? Round and around the globe.
Welcome to Take Me With You, episode 151. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Cheryl. We are two well-traveled people who want to go everywhere.
But that's not going to happen. Instead, for the last couple of years, we've been traveling vicariously by inviting guests to share their unique travel stories with us.
It's been awesome, and our podcast has been all over the globe.
Now we're taking some time to revisit the Wish You Were Here segment of our show, where we each share travel attractions that we recommend.
This week's Wish You Were Here's are from the frontier.
Oh my gosh. I will say, Cheryl, that was not a bad frontier accent.
Oh my gosh, I was trying to channel my inner Thunder Mountain Railroad, which we all have inside of ourselves. And
I mean, I'm going to have to trust you on that one.
hats and glasses, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness or in the West. It's one of those two.
I don't know. I haven't ever been on that ride, so.
Oh man. Well, here's the thing about organizing these Wish You Were Here episodes, which you have done so beautifully. This really is like what an amazing editor you are. Just like it's a symphony. It's a masterpiece. This is truly like your finest work.
I hope this isn't my finest work.
These Wish You Were Here's, but titling them is tricky.
Yeah,
because we did not cover every state in the U.S. We covered what we and our guests chose to talk about and where we have been.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were looking at a map for, I don't know how long you and I were looking at maps of the U.S. and how they could be divided and how they could be titled, because we do care about being accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the definitions for this region that technically most of these states, or maybe all of these states, depending on which map you look at, fall into is frontier, which I've never heard before.
Not in reference to states.
Well, yeah, I've heard the word frontier.
Yeah,
but
or the frontier.
Sure.
But definitely not the frontier states. It's
yes.
Like, I wonder what states those are.
Yeah, and it's the states in this episode.
It is. Well, at least that's what we're claiming.
And yet none of them are about like gold, panning for gold, or like a mining tour. I guess I did go to a ghost town.
I was going to say there is a ghost town in here.
Okay. So that gives us like the closest to what I think of with the word frontier.
Yep. There's a castle.
Yeah.
Which doesn't feel very frontier-like to me.
Yeah. But I'm interested to hear if anyone has a better suggestion of what this grouping of states could be.
I don't know. We spent quite a bit of time looking.
So hang on to your hats and glasses and enjoy the wildest podcast in the wilderness.
Cheryl, what would you like to do for your Wish You Were Here?
So I would like to share about Brennan's Wave in Missoula, Montana. I recently went on a road trip with my husband and stepson, and we went to Missoula, and it was great. I loved it. And we stayed in their little old downtown area, and it's right on the river. And there is a natural wave in the river where people can surf. And so in
the river,
I did not know this was a thing. And I think it is because since then I saw footage of river surfing somewhere else in the world. But
they have it in Munich.
Really?
Yeah, there's in the English Gardens, they have a place where there's a bunch of people who you just walk through and there's people surfing. So I've definitely seen river surfing before.
Yeah, I think just like growing up in Washington, you know, you go surfing in the ocean. And so it was really interesting being in a landlocked state but surfing. But it's so fun because there's this cute little park right next to it. It's a little city park, and there's a hill, and you can just like watch the surfers out on the river. So if you're into surfing, it'd be funny to say that you have surfed in Montana. But if you're not, it's a fun place to go and hang out and watch surfers. So,
Cameron, what would you like to do for your Wish You Were Here?
I think my Wish You Were Here would be in Idaho, because I have been, I don't want to say stuck, because it doesn't sound very positive, but I've been enjoying a summer in Idaho instead of traveling. I've actually gotten to see a lot more of the state than I have ever before. So, and we've done a lot of hiking up to mountain lakes. And recently we went up to this one that was called Lake Stevens. And it was just this gorgeous blue mountain lake. No one else was really up there. And it was a super hot day. And so just got to jump in the water, and just such a beautiful location. Exactly what you picture to be like a desktop background, or like just the front of a postcard. So beautiful. So pristine.
Awesome. Lake Stevens, Idaho.
That's fantastic. That sounds so fun.
So, Cheryl, what would you like to do for your Wish You Were Here this week?
Well, mine is inspired by what Dana shared about. I got to go to a ghost town this summer, and I thought I would share about it today. It is
perfect.
outside of Missoula, Montana, which is such a beautiful area anyway. And it is called...
Don't give the exact location. Don't give the exact location, Cheryl.
It's 500 steps to the west of... I don't know how people write these things on there. This one has a website, and they do give the location, so I'm going to feel comfortable doing this.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, you're good. You're in the clear.
It's called the Garnet Ghost Town, and it is from the late 1800s, and it was like a gold mining town back then. And what's so fun, what I loved about it was a beautiful drive to get there, just like through the mountains and trees in Montana. And then it's a little hike to actually get from the parking lot to the ghost town, which is fun because then you combine like a pretty like tame hike with visiting a ghost town. And it's like all the old log cabins, and it's like rolling grassy hills that they're all on, and there's a schoolhouse and a bar and a jail and then some houses, and it's like pretty well preserved, and you can even see like some newspapers up on the walls in the bar and things like that. So that was really fun. And it's just a gorgeous area. And then actually we took a different route back to Missoula. There were just some other signs for I-90, and that led to some very fun off-roading. And I haven't done a ton of off-roading, and I got to do some off-roading, and it was just so gorgeous out there. So, yeah, I would recommend if you're in the Missoula area, go check out the Garnet Ghost Town.
Cheryl, how about you?
All right. Well, mine is also a restaurant. So this is a fun little like restaurant stroll through the United States that we're going to take. So mine is in Colorado Springs, and it's this little gastropub called the Golden Bee.
I'm sorry, for someone who's not a foodie, what is a gastropub? Is that actually a thing, or is that just a fancy word that people throw on things to make it sound cool?
I mean, you might be right. It is an old pub. It's a British-style pub in a hotel called the Broadmoor, I believe, in Colorado Springs. It was a number of years ago I went there. So it's old. Like your class, I mean, it feels very like British pub where you get your like fish and chips and like... yeah, it's... I'm actually looking at their website right now, and they also have like... a Reuben, or like these different ales and different things like that. But it is such a fun place. Okay, so you walk in and they throw a bee at you.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't see why you need an explanation, but I guess I'll explain it if you need me to. So they have these little bee... they're not stickers. They're kind of like a sticker, but they're very thick, almost like when you get like a patch or something, almost like those like patches that like Girl Scouts get or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that thick material that's like stitched, but it sticks. The other side of it just sticks to anything, so they can throw this thing at you and it just sticks to your clothes, and so everyone just gets a bee.
Wait, hold on. So it's like a patch. So it's flat. It's flat. Yeah,
it's flat.
like a disc or a flat square or something.
It's a little picture of a cute little bee.
But they have to throw it such that the sticky side
it just sticks on you.
Licks on you. But are both sides sticky?
No.
So they have to throw it so that the sticky side hits your shirt.
It just happens. I don't know. I mean,
no, they would have to
mishaps.
practice to make that happen.
It is so fun. You walk in and they just throw this bee at you, and then you have a bee on your shirt. And so that's pretty fun. I kept my bee for a long time and actually moved it because I could take it off and I put it on a hat, and it just like stayed on that hat for years, and that was very fun. So I got a bee out of the deal. So that's great. And they have live music, and it's like a piano player, and they're like singing songs, and everybody kind of sings along. So it's like that whole like feeling, you know, really good food and just like a really fun hangout place. So I'd say if you're in Colorado Springs, go to the Golden Bee. Let them throw a bee at you, sing a song, have some ales, you know, have some fish and chips, and just like enjoy your night, you know?
All right.
Yeah.
I think that would be the only context in which I would let someone throw a bee
That's what I
at
was
me.
just thinking.
Oh, man.
So, Cheryl, what is your wish you were here for this episode?
So, Ryan, while you were off gallivanting in Europe, I went on a little trip myself to Colorado Springs.
Nice.
Went with my fiance, and we visited a friend of his there. And one of the things we did was we went to the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo.
Is that the one that's on the side of the mountain?
Yes, it is.
I've been there.
It is a good zoo.
It is a good zoo. It was cold when I was there, but...
Yeah, so I had been there one time, actually 10 years before that. And so they've updated some things since I had been there. But it's a good zoo. I like it because it's not enormous. It's very doable in like a half day, you know, which is kind of a fun like length of zoo time. It has a little sky ride, whatever you want to call it, chairlift.
Okay.
Sky, I don't know. Gondola sounds like the enclosed thing more, so I think it's more of like a chairlift type of sky ride.
Okay, sure.
Similar to the San Diego Zoo also has that. And so so that was fun. So we did that. They warned us that if we they weren't sure if it was going to be open that day because if there was lightning, they were going to have to close it. And then also if we bought the tickets for it and then they closed it because of the lightning, that they would give us a refund, and so we could do that or we could buy it later, blah blah blah. And I was like, we're going on the sky ride and we're buying the tickets right now because I want to go on the sky ride. So then we just went straight there because it's like might as well. So that takes you way up the hill, which was really funny. You get a gorgeous view of the city and the whole area, which is fun. You have to go back down on it. You can't like meander down through the zoo or anything after that. But on the sky ride, you're going over animal exhibits. And so we got a really fun selfie with a tiger from above. And I'm pointing to the tiger in the picture so that you can see that it's there.
Because he's a little tiny.
Yeah, it's a little tiny.
Okay.
but yeah,
still
it's
a tiger.
great... Yeah, it's tiger. We had a selfie with the tiger. And so, yeah, it's fun. There's, like I said, they're redoing a lot of it. So like at this moment, they're redoing the hippos and the penguins, which means the penguins were not there, which was a pretty big bummer for me because I really love penguins.
Yeah,
I have a penguin tattoo. I really love penguins.
Did I send you the picture of the penguin that I took the picture of on my Ireland trip?
No.
I thought I did. I thought I texted it to you.
What?
I did a selfie with a giant penguin.
Was it? It wasn't real. Was
No, it wasn't alive.
Oh, okay.
You're like, well,
Maybe
then I
then.
don't care.
I mean, that's still fun. I like penguins either way.
Maybe I didn't. I'll have to find it and show it to you later.
Here's my tiger selfie. That orange dot, that would be a tiger that we went over. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's great size, good exhibits, pretty like natural, atmosphere, environments, whatever the words are, habitats for the animals.
Yeah.
There, right near the entrance they're probably one of the big features of the zoo is you can feed giraffes. And in addition to being able to feed them, just the whole giraffe viewing area is at eye level with the giraffes.
Oh, that's fun.
Which is just a really fun way to get to see giraffes like where they're just walking around at your eye level. And then you can buy lettuce. You buy a few pieces of lettuce for $3. So it's the most expensive lettuce I think I've ever bought. And then you feed them. And I mean, there were a lot of people there. We were also there on the Saturday of 4th of July weekend. So, I mean, there were a lot of people there.
Wow.
But what we did is that's like right at the entrance. So we noticed most of the guests just head there first. Mm-hmm. So after we did our little sky ride, we went and did the rest of the zoo and then came back to the giraffe. So it wasn't as crazy. And so we're just trying to kind of do it in opposite order, kind of like what you were saying with your peninsula loop.
Yeah.
Is we're trying to, hit up some different things. But yeah, it's great. It's beautiful. It looks like Colorado. So it's always fun when you're at a zoo that like looks like the area that you're in. So I would recommend the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo.
So, Cheryl, what would you like to do for your Wish You Were Here this week?
I would like to talk about the Glen Eyrie Castle in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Ryan, have you been there? You're nodding a lot.
I have, and I'm going to have to tell you a story about it once you finish.
Okay. So maybe you have more right to talk about it than I have because I've never been inside.
Wait a minute. What?
It comes out. Truth comes out.
I wish I went inside, but I was with my sister when she lived there, and I went on a hike with her that was like nearby the castle, and so we looked at it first and then went on the hike. But they offer tours, and I mean, the outside is gorgeous, and anytime you can go to a castle that's in the U.S. is very exciting and
rare.
Kind of a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. I love that.
It's really beautiful. It was built in, let's see what Wikipedia has to say. 1871 by the founder of Colorado Springs, maybe. Or maybe he commissioned it.
Mr. Colorado Springs himself.
Yeah. Yep.
Sure.
And it's gorgeous. And it's such like a beautiful wooded area. And there's brick happening, which I'm a big fan of. So check it out. But go on the inside, unlike I did.
Yeah. So I have been inside, and it is pretty cool. I was in high school at the time, so it was quite a while ago, and I don't remember all of the details. What I do remember, though, was that me and several friends decided, well, if it's a castle, it must have secret passages.
Sure.
So we went around looking for secret passages in the castle. And I swear there was some tour or something at one point, and we asked the woman, and she like opened up this like side panel, and I think there was like a fire hose or something in it, and I was like, that doesn't count. And so we went around like checking doors, and there was a big giant fireplace, like one that you can actually like walk in. It's so big, and there were little light fixtures on the side, and it's possible that I may have turned one and broken it, except I don't think it actually broke, but I think I was afraid I broke it, right? Because like, well, maybe if it turns and then the fireplace turns around, and of course
100%. That's totally what I was thinking.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also possible, Cheryl, that the one time that Ben and I had a fight was when we were in the castle, because he thought, and there was a lot more to it than just this, but basically I wanted to go and look for more secret passages, and he thought we should do something else. And like I said, there was a lot more to it than just that. That sounds very, very surface. But the one actual like fight argument that we had, that was it. So yes, I definitely remember Glen Eyrie Castle.
Nice.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Cheryl, what would you like to do for your Wish You Were Here?
I want to share about the Broadmoor Hotel in Colorado Springs. Have either of you been to Colorado Springs?
No. It's where the Air Force Academy is, right? I think.
Yes, I think that's correct.
I've not been there.
Okay. Yeah. Ryan, you've been there.
Not to the Broadmoor, but I've been to Colorado Springs. Yeah.
I haven't stayed at this hotel, but my feeling with nice hotels is like, I don't necessarily want to spend the money. However, it can be so fun if it's like a really cool building to go and just walk around or like eat at a restaurant there, or kind of enjoy the grounds. But this is a historic hotel, and so the building and the grounds are gorgeous. There's a ton of cool restaurants there. I actually shared about one. I was looking back. It's like really early in our podcast, called the Golden Bee. That's like a British pub feeling, and they throw these little like bee stickers at you and sing songs, and it's awesome.
That's right. I remember you talking about that.
It is gorgeous. It's really big. I was even looking at their website, and they have all sorts of like different types of accommodations, and but I would say go there. If you like staying at nice hotels, maybe stay there, but just go there, walk around, and enjoy like a gorgeous building. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, it was. We would love it if you would follow us on social media. We are at Timwy Podcast. That's at TMWY for Take Me With You Podcast. We are on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
You can also email us at timwypodcast@gmail.com. Tell us, what are your Wish You Were Here's for this location?
We would love to hear that. You can also call us and leave us a voicemail at 406-763-8699. Or if it's easier to remember, 406-POD-TIMWY. We would love it if you would rate and review our podcast to tell other people what you think about it, subscribe to make sure you don't miss an episode, and share about this episode on your social media.
As always, thank you to Beth Reed Miller for the awesome artwork. You can check out more of Beth's artwork at Beth Is Something. And thank you to Erica Corbin for the use of her song Round the Globe. You can listen to Erica's music wherever music is sold or streamed.
That's all we have for this episode. So until next time, remember to take me with you.
Take me with you.
Can we get a sailboat chasing down the sunset as we float round and round the globe? Salty air and balmy nights, guided only by the lights above, and a little love. Oh, the world is out there waiting to explore, and all our troubles here want them to be